connection would change my life. It connected me right away to my prior roommate Ling, who grew from a very small village in China and now is an EVC, a millionaire leading a 7 million super team. It connected me 9 years later to Marcel and Kim, who came from Philippines as a physical therapist and now within only 6 years in the business became EVC and $750,000 ring earners during the pandemic. It connected me to the 65 SMDs and their team members of all walks of life that make Team Everest today a 60 million hierarchy, which also connected to tens of thousands of lives that we touched during the past 15 years. It connected me with different cultures, precious mentorship, and great friendship. And now it connected me to every one of you virtually in such a special year of change. I am forever grateful for that one powerful connection that plugged my life into WFG's life. Talking about connecting with confidence, ever since my first convention, I know that I'm in the right company and we're doing great things for families. My confidence comes from common sense and field training. I remember one time there was a prospect, he came to me and said, Sunny, it bothers me that there were negative comments about your company on the internet. And I smiled and I said, well, your daughter is a pianist. If she is performing on the stage, would you be bothered by the negative opinions of those audience who knew nothing about music? Or would you care more of the opinions from the experts? And he nodded and he said, well, yeah, you made a point. But I still don't like the fact that anyone, like any average Joes in Chinese, we say, any cat and dog can join WFG. And I smiled again and I said, well, you and I are both immigrants from China. Why do so many people fight to come to America? People call America melting pot, as it gives everyone, like any cat and dog, an equal opportunity to change their lives. And that's exactly what makes America a great country. And so, as WFG. And he looked at me and then he felt my confidence and conviction and he signed up right after. Well, I did have a lot of confidence in our company and what we do, but did I have a lot of confidence from the very beginning that I can do the business and I can be a good leader? Not exactly. I remember there were times when I wanted to back off short notice the speaking responsibility because I worried I wouldn't have enough time to prepare for a good speech. And there were times when I didn't want to announce my goals publicly to my team because I worried, what if I don't hit my goal? Then I would look bad in front of my team. And there were also times where I didn't want to give my very best effort because I feared, what if I give it my all and still fail? Then all my effort is wasted, leaving me no excuse but to admit that I'm not good enough. And it seemed to me back then that confidence has to come from applause from the audience and acknowledgement from others and proving my abilities to others. But all these things only gave me temporary satisfaction, not the long-lasting confidence. And I wondered why, until one day I realized that I was being self-centered with a very limiting mindset that blocked the growth of my confidence. And I started to change my thinking. Why would my speech have to impress others? I shall speak to serve, not to impress. Why would success have to be defined by only the outcome? We can find success in the process of doing our best, and we can find success in learning and improving, and the outcome is just a byproduct. Why would the setback invalidate all the past effort and make us less confident? The past effort can still be meaningful, and setbacks can be motivating too. It's informative, it's a wake-up call, and it humbles us down. And that's why in 2010, my lowest moment in my career, I finally made a progress stepping out of that old mindset, and I called a 90-day hierarchy round. I announced to all my team members that I would seriously give my everything in the next 90 days, and I did it, which brought a significant breakthrough in the following years. And then people asked me, Sunny, did you gain confidence because that 90-day resulted in a successful outcome that 4 years later you become a millionaire? I thought about it. I think it's more about the process of the commitment, less about the outcome. I already gained confidence during those 90 days because by giving my best, I improved my skill set and fulfilled my word of commitment, and I developed good habits. And most importantly, I stretched myself hard enough so that a new identity came out of my old shell. It tells me that, yes, I can do much more, learn much more, and grow much more than I thought before. And so can my team. And that's exactly why today I can confidently connect with my team member, anyone on my team, and tell them that yes, you can change your life in 90 days if you give your absolute best. And by the way, we don't have to always feel good to do good. We can feel bad and still do good and still be constructive. The less we feel like doing something like making a phone call, attending a meeting, or fighting till the end, we can make ourselves doing it anyway. And it's in those moments that we grow our confidence the most. And it's in those moments that we draw blessings into our lives. Well, while I cultivated a new mindset in me, I started to focus and care more about how much I improve myself and how much I help others improve, and then focus less and care less about how I will be judged by others. In this world full of judgment and opinions, we can build our confidence by doing the right things with the anyway mentality. And when I say that, I mean, for example, when we share opportunities with our friends, people may think, you're trying to take advantage of the friendship. Share and help your friend anyway. When we set big goals, people may think you're bluffing and you're smoking. Set big goals and work on them anyway. When we carry flag and show appreciation to our leaders, people may think you're trying to kiss up your leaders. Carry flag and show sincere appreciations anyway. When we open up ourselves to connect with and love people, when they get hurt and become vulnerable, connect and love people anyway. Because at the end of the day, our security and confidence come from within, come from our integrity, come from how God created us to be, not relying on how the world, the outside world, look at us. I know that it's much harder to do it than to say it, but in the journey to personal growth, we don't want to choose the path that's easy and comfortable doing. I appreciate WFG for providing such a life path in the business world in which we never have to retire but can always seek to renew. And I know that in this path I will never become a perfect leader, but I'm confident that I can work my best to become my best. COVID-19 has changed our norms to connect with others physically. However, deep in our heart, we can always remain that confidence when we connect with ourselves and connect with others, because we know that in all future new norms, we will continue to grow and we will continue to make a difference because we're giving our best.
What I tell you? Did I tell you that Sunny Hawaiian is going to deliver? Tell me you don't need to go out there and add more passion to your everyday conversation. Oh my gosh. How many of you would like to sit in front of her on a one-on-one or a recruiting or a sales presentation? There's no way you're not going to join or you're not going to want to buy. I'll tell you right now, the leaders in WFG by far are the best of the best. Now, as we're making connections here today, I want you to know, I'm sure you have a lot of different favorites and a lot of different leaders that are coming on up saying, hey, I like what this person said, I like what that person said. The most important thing is this, is you finding that connect that's going to bring you to make that decision, that mental decision to go out there and do what you say and say as you do. I'll tell you right now, there's nothing greater than WFG out there. And with our opportunity, I will tell you right now, bar none, nothing compares to our opportunity called World Financial Group. All right, everybody, did you see your name? Was it scrolling across the screen for $250,000 earners, $500,000 earners, $750,000? You got to understand, there's a lot of amazing leaders that we have not even really heard of that have yet to go out there and take the big stage, but they're making lots of money in WFG. How many of you guys right now can see yourself and see your name scrolling across the screen, right? June Dela Cruz, $250,000 earner. June Dela Cruz, $500,000 earner. One thing I know is this. You know, we're at conventions sometimes when there's, 15, 20, 30,000 people in an arena and there's one person on stage. You're like, who's that person talking to? There's 30,000 people, but somehow, some way, at some moment, that person on stage is going to say something that's going to change your life. Well, one thing I love about Zoom, one thing I love about you being at home, at the comfort of your own home, you can say, hey, that person's talking directly to me. I know that there's other people on this virtual convention, but that leader right there is talking directly to me. I want you to have that, what I call, aha moment, because that aha moment is what brings you back. That aha moment is what makes you a champion, and one day you're going to be here on the big stage. Or maybe not a big stage, but on the big screen. There you go. All right, everybody, we're switching gears again. Another gear. That's what I love about this whole thing. We're going to recognize $1 million and up earners throughout WFG since last year's convention. Now, I want you to pay attention to these names. I want you to know these are the heroes in our business. You know, in the world we live in today, people follow sports and their heroes are basketball players, football players, baseball players. Well, in our world, or my world, my heroes are the people that are in WFG. And what I love about WFG is every single person has a story, and every person's success, you know they had to go through exactly what you had to do to get to where they're at. Understand, everybody, and I mean everybody in WFG, signed an AMA at one day or another. So the question you got to be asking yourself is, man, what are these people doing? How did they get to $250,000? How did they get to $500,000? How did they get to $1 million? Or how did they get to where they're at? And can you see yourself being the next big winner in WFG? So, with that being said, I'm going to go through the next about 18 names of $1 million earners and up since last convention. I'm going to start with one of my great friends, you know, a person I've seen in this company grow and evolve. And what's neat about it is when you see not just people grow, but when you look at them and go, wow, this person's kind of quiet, or you know, this person's kind of humble, but you see their determination, you see their fire. It's wonderful when they have breakthroughs. Breakthroughs are SMD. Breakthroughs are like $100,000 earners, or $250,000 or $500,000. The last few years, I've watched this person go from $250,000 to $500,000, $750,000. Well, guess what? WFG's newest $1 million. Think about that right now. How many of you would like to make $1 million+ from the comfort of your own home during this pandemic? Please help me welcome Baldev Dave Dhaliwal, the newest $1 million purple ring earner. What you get is you get one of these kind of purple rings like this, kind of the same thing a Super Bowl champion wears, an NBA champion wears, and guess what? To me, what's more important is what a WFG champion wears. You get to do that, and you get to wear that, and everybody see the bling bling. That's the awesome part about this. So Baldev Dave Dhaliwal is our first $1 million earner. Next one, let me tell you right now, you're going to hear a lot about this guy.